Now it is time for our Bay Area baseball bit. Of course, we are joined by our analyst, Alan Stiles. Alan, thanks for joining us per usual. Let's start off with the Giants. You know, they coming off an emotional victory against the Los Angeles Dodgers. They took 3 of 4. Then they kind of had a letdown. They dropped 2 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They salvaged the series today, and they could get 1. Did you see that emotional letdown coming? Because they do have 2 huge series coming up. Were you let down a bit by this series against Pittsburgh this weekend?
Yeah, I definitely saw this coming. Whenever you sandwich a series against one of the worst teams in baseball between your bitter rival, probably the best rivalry in all of sports, you're going to have a letdown. The Giants got in at 1 a.m. before that first game against the Pirates. Luckily, they were able to bounce back. And look, like I've been saying, if you're going to drop games, I know it looks bad because they're the Pirates and they're not very good. But at least you're dropping games to a team that's, 1, not in your division, and 2, not even in the playoff race as far as I'm concerned. So you hate to lose, but if you're going to lose, at least do it now. And now they might have some fire in their belly for when they face the Dodgers and they come up next week.
I know we're not trying to enter panic mode, but are you a little worried at all about Kevin Gausman? Because in his last 5 starts, 1-3, 4.97 ERA. What's the explanation for that?
I'm not too worried about Kevin Gausman. Let's be honest. I'm going to get a little serious here. A couple of weeks ago when Kevin Gausman missed his start, it's because his wife had pregnancy complications. So we know that these guys get paid a lot of money and a job is a job, but I don't think anybody would blame him if baseball hasn't been the #1 thing on his mind. With that being said, I see him returning to form just in time for this NL West race when it continues to heat up.
You're 100% right about that. Bigger than sports sometimes. Now, let's go across the bridge to the Bay. Oakland, the city council voted 6-1 to approve the Howard Terminal project, but they made some amendments on their own that the A's haven't necessarily agreed with. It's just another chapter in this long-going saga. Do you think it was a step in the right direction, or we still kind of at an impasse here? What gives?
I look at this like a free agent that a team comes to them and says, hey, we all talked internally and we like this deal a lot. What do you think? And the free agent says, I don't like this deal. If the free agent doesn't like the deal's not getting done. It doesn't matter what the team thinks about internally or just the fact that they agreed to it. So the city can bet on and they can vote on whatever they want. It doesn't really matter if the A's aren't on board and they're not even at the bus or the train station right now. They need to get on the same page because it seems like they're reading 2 different books. So if they can't find some way to bridge this gap, at this point, it seems like the A's are going to have to bend some of the things they want to make this happen because at the end of the day, they're starting to run out of options and they're starting to run out of time.
Yeah, like you said, Jason, the saga that never ends. But we do have a deadline coming up. It is the trade deadline. Which team do you think is more likely to make a move, the A's or the Giants?
You can make an argument for both. I think they both need pieces, but I would say I would bet on the Giants making a move. #1, because we know that they're overachieving. The Giants know that they're overachieving. And because they are overachieving, they don't want to look back on this season and think, man, if we had made 1 or 2 more moves, we really could have competed for a title. With that being said, the A's, on the other hand, I think they lost 2 games last week on wild pitches. So I don't think they're 1 or 2 pieces away. They might not feel like it right now. They might need a full-on reset. So I'm going to go with the Giants. And the other thing about the Giants is they have a really, really good minor league system right now with some top prospects. They can still keep these top prospects and move a couple other ones that would give them some pieces that can really put them in championship contention.
It'll be interesting. The Padres are already making some moves. They acquired the Pirates' best player today, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Alan, as always, thank you so much for joining us. That's Alan Stiles. That was your Bay Area baseball bit. We'll be right back after a quick break.